Okay, here's a comparison between two different attempts on the same move. And this is the climber Maddie. Um, and the reason I'm showing this is because it is a great example of how tiny little changes make the difference between success and failure. But we have to know what we need to be thinking about in order to make those changes. The other idea here is that even though you only have 4 or 5 minutes on a climb in a comp, you have the ability and you have the time to make really constructive changes to your movement and to at least get one hold farther. So let's take a look at Maddie's unsuccessful attempt on the move first. And it's over here on the right. Looks good. But then right in here, again, the thing we're always looking at is the hips, the trunk, in this case, also the left knee. And if we get right in here, we start to see that this is where her body starts to rotate outward a little bit. Just look at that. Look at the hips, look at the left leg, and you'll see that rotation beginning, and then she's actually pushing herself away from the hold with her left leg and can't quite latch it and falls off. So that's the unsuccessful attempt. Now, the successful attempt starts out very similar, right? The difference is in the timing, in the relationship between when the hand hits the hold and when the hips start to rotate out. So we're gonna go back to the unsuccessful attempt here, and we're gonna see. Okay, I'm gonna say right. Let me see, where is it? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6 frames before the hand hits the hold is when the hips start falling away from the wall. And so she's already got some outward momentum going and can't manage to latch it. So that's 6 frames. Let's see what the difference is over here. We're going to just look at the hips. I'm going to say right there is when you first see them coming out. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. And then she's got firm contact. So she's cut the time in half between when the hips start falling outward and when the hand hits the hold. Um, and I can't emphasize enough how we see these tiny differences over and over again in climbing. And 3 frames is not a very long amount of time, but in climbing it's a very long amount of time. Um, and these differences are truly salient. So what does the climber do in this situation? Well, really, the climber, 3 frames lies below our threshold of perception, both for someone observing the climber and for the climber themselves. So what the climber has to do is experiment and say, maybe this is a move that I just need to go faster on. And really, all they need to do to start the process of understanding the move is to try it at different speeds and trying to go faster. They won't know how much faster they're going. They're just going to initiate with more force and a little bit more momentum, and that can often make the difference between success and failure.